That's so funny.
I know, he's really like, just whatever. So, you do admit that you had a murderous intent towards Miss Brethen.
The woman's very existence offended my sense of justice.
Your sense of... He's claiming some sort of self-righteous indignation.
Yeah. She sucked. She was pure evil. A cold-blooded killer who had committed a murder right here on our empire's soil. But did our good-for-nothing government do anything? Not a chance. So I had to step in. I had to intervene.
With a knife. Into
Fly
our
the
back.
flag of justice, put things right for the people. Yes, it was my civic duty. That's what drove me to do it.
So, in summary, murderous intentions, then.
Well, it's better than I wanted a news story that I thought it was going to be.
Wanted a new story.
Whatever you want to call it. The point is this.
I'm a murderer.
That English woman was a blight. So I had to do what was right for society. Yet a real wrong was done by the student girl in the dock, a crime for which she must pay.
Are you just gonna ignore the fact that, like, he's admitting to stabbing someone? Like,
Yeah, they're all
Ouchie's
just
so...
kinda glossing over that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the poisoning had nothing to do with me at all. I'm innocent. I never done a single wrong thing in my life.
He's like, my guy's totally innocent, actually. So you still maintain that you didn't give the poison to the victim?
Obviously, dumbass. That'd be like putting a belt on your trousers when you were already wearing braces like these.
That was a pretty good line.
The accused administered the poison, following which the witness stabbed the victim. An unforgivable act, certainly, but not one of murder. The crime rests on the accused's shoulders. That is how the law works, you see, yokel. Who knows, you may even learn something here today. Okay. 2 consecutive attempts on our life in the span of fucking minutes? Wow, quite a day for the victim. Do something that evil, and you got it coming. That's how the law works. The law of reckoning.
No. That's not the kind of law this court upholds, but apparently it fucking does, because you're not getting in any trouble.
Yep. You'll reiterate why you were compelled to stop the victim, then, witness. Well, like, I had to.
Who's it? Someone told me to. What exactly were they arguing about?
About what happened in that restaurant 9 months ago. That's what. The student girl was laying into the Englishwoman for killing her beloved mentor, Dr. Wilson. Yes, John H. Wilson. I love
Always hated that guy.
a professor of medicine invited here from England by the Professor Mikotoba, no less. Right. But the Englishwoman just jeered. Her case was to be heard by the British Consular Court in Shanghai, however. There is little doubt that she would simply have been acquitted and sent back to her homeland a free woman. Which is fucked up. It was eating that student girl up inside, you could see it. I really felt for her. What?
Oh. Is it Sosuke?
It's probably Ray.
Oh, there she is. Hi. I can't. I can't stand here and listen to this tripe. Ray.
Shut up. Young girl, you stand accused here. You can't just blurt out whenever you feel like it. No. Oh, she vanished. Well, you can't. Sorry, but I'm in the middle of some very important testimony here, so shut the fuck up and keep quiet and listen.
But this awful man is making all of this up.
I never told a lie.
Ever. Susato, please. You have to make them listen.
I'm trying. Return to the dock at once, Memami-san. We are in the middle of a cross-examination.
Hold it!
No, I call the shots here. Your Excellency, please, I implore you. That journalist is clearly not a trustworthy witness.
I mean, yeah, he lied about the stabbing. That's a pretty big
Red flag?
Like that his credibility should be ruined.
Yeah. Exactly. He's a filthy, rotten liar. Black-hearted, bigoted, dirty, grape-peeping Tom.
Whoa.
Yeah, all those.
Take it easy there, you bitch.
What did you call me? Please, I really think the court should hear what the defendant has to say.
Your Excellency, I see no need whatsoever to entertain the accused's remarks. I hate women. Yes, we're well fucking aware.
We know.
I will grant the request of the defense.
What?
But, Your Excellency, I'm a man. This is likely to be the final cross-examination of these proceedings. As such, I believe it would be ill-advised to stifle the defendant's obvious concerns. So, whilst recognizing that this contravenes regular protocol, I hereby call the defendant to fucking speak.
Oh.
Yay.
Did she
Max.
just slam her head on him? I don't know, anyways. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Wow.
It was nothing to do with Dr. Wilson. We were discussing the stolen poison.
Hold it!
The stolen poison that killed the victim, you mean? I suspected her being the one to steal it.
Fucking no.
I mean, just think about how she killed Dr. Wilson. With poison.
That's true. And additionally, Miss Brett certainly had knowledge of the new poison. But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin developed for the government.
I like to think that that conversation was, oh my god, why would someone steal the poison before I did?
Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. That's true. I'm here. I pestered Professor Mikatoba until he agreed to show me the poison when I visited his laboratory. But as I left, I was searched from top to tail. And my balls were searched too. This rather bluntly revealed the existence of the toxin we've been developing, you see. Since Oski-san expressed such an interest in it, I felt unable to refuse. Obviously, I gave nothing away other than the fact that it was an extremely potent substance. I'm very ashamed of myself. It's just that I've had a singularly terrible experience with the deadly poison. I wanted to look at my own enemy in the eye. Surely you can understand that.
To find out if my suspicions were true, I confronted Miss Brett about the poison. I told her that if there were an incident involving it somehow, it wouldn't just be the university. The military would be dragged into it. The whole government, even. It would be a complete disaster.
And how did Miss Brett respond to your concerns?
She just curled those beautiful lips of hers and said she didn't know the first thing about it. In English, actually.
Her beautiful lips.
Her beautiful lips.
Was she gonna kiss you? Ah, yes. Mimi Memo-san. One small question if you don't mind. Fucker. I do mind. Can't you see I'm fucking busy writing? Clearly you were outside the beach hut listening in whilst the defendant and Miss Brett were conversing. Presumably then, it was you who wrote this article about what you'd heard. I don't even know what that is. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from UMA Medical Research Laboratory. The story was published in this morning's edition of Shoyu News.
Oh yeah, did you steal it and then write about it to make it sound like someone else did it?
The details are far too accurate for it to have been written by anyone else. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even work there. I'm not even a writer.
Yes, look at this. The entire article is almost what I said to Miss Brett, word for word.
Fuck!
Well, Mini Memo-san,
Shut up.
what the fuck do you have to say for yourself, dude?
As a journo, and as a citizen of a free country, I don't have to reveal my sources. That's a founding principle of many memoism. I made it up just now.
Father's clearly right about this. That reporter did write the article, and he based it on what he overheard from the outside hut.
Wow.
So that's what this was all about. You were trying to cover up the fact that you were listening in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why you came up with that stinking story about me arguing with her.
Shut up. My stories never stink. Look, whatever you say, little girl, it doesn't alter the facts. Your Excellency, there's something I want to say, and I want it to go on record. Your credibility sucks. Very well, you may amend your formal testimony. Fucking go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm so mad right now. The point is, if you poisoned someone, there'd be no reason to go and stab the person as well.
Hold it!
Unless if you're me. But I wouldn't do that.
Perhaps you doubted the efficiency of the poor
The
Wait.
efficacy.
Efficacy? Yeah.
The efficacy.
Efficacy of the poison and sought to make sure the victim would die.
That's horse shit.
What?
That would be like pouring pepper on your Chinese ramen before you'd even tasted it. Completely reckless. Although, it might surprise you to learn that I am a bit of an impetuous pepper pourer as it happens.
I hear you. Once the victim had taken the poison, she would have only had minutes away from death. And yet, this man has proceeded to stab her in the back as well. Just for fun. There has to be a good reason for that.
There was a reporter who hid the poison to Miss Brett, but clearly, he must have done it prior to Ray entering the hut.
Yes, that's undeniable.
Between him leaving the hut and the victim being stabbed, there was one very crucial change in the situation.
Sorry? What change?
The reporter overheard the conversation between Ray and the Englishwoman.
Ah, yes, that's it. That's when Minnie Memo-san first found out the exact nature of the poison he'd used. could be the key here.
If the victim had unwittingly taken the poison already, the reporter would have no reason to stab her. On the face of it, that logic sounds entirely reasonable.
But there is no question that this man was responsible for Miss Brett's murder.
If we could think of a plausible explanation as to why he might have stabbed her even after the poisoning, I feel sure that everything would drop into place. That's what we should be looking for.
Yes, I agree. And in order to do that, I must try to glean more information.
Okay. So if you poisoned someone, there would be no reason to stab the person as well. What was even the properties of the poison in the first place?
Maybe to end her suffering? Question mark? Death would have occurred within minutes?
Yeah, maybe it's because he wanted it to be quick.
He could probably try and swing something like, I was trying to put her out of her misery. When I found her, she was dying.
Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or a wound from a poison-laced blade, if proof fatal in minutes. Your detectives cannot detect the newly developed chemical. Nursing doctor consulted. Occurs within minutes, starting with impaired breathing and acute contraction of pupils. Such symptoms suggested it was toxin. Apparently, entirely new synthesis of alkaloids were never commissioned by the military. I feel like it would have to do something with the properties of the poison. Or maybe get the pen back? I don't know.
Maybe?
Objection!
Oh, okay, I was right.
Wow.
It was the properties of the poison.
Well. Oh, wait. Well, I can only think of one reason.
What? What?
But before I explain, I'd like you to confirm something for the court.
Nah.
Did you glean at all this information for the newspaper article from what you overheard outside that?
Of course he did. There can be no question in that.
No.
After all, we were in the laboratory together. All we were told is that it was a terrible toxin.
And there is one more important fact to consider. According to the witness, Membami-san's verbal attack against the victim began as soon as she entered the hut. In other words, it would have been impossible for her to have slipped the poison into Miss Brett's drink.
Objection!
Where are you going with this, counsel?
Menimemo-san had made it quite clear that he observed every single thing that happened in the beach hut. If the defendant had somehow forgotten it or found an opportunity, this man would have seen it.
Ugh. Which means that Miss Brett couldn't have imbibed the poison whilst the defendant was present. In fact, it must have been administered to her before Momei-san entered the hut. Yes, very articulately put.
When I walked into the hut, I immediately started to press Miss Brett about the poison. At which point, Menimemo-san overheard some worrying information.
Worrying information? What worrying Are you stupid?
The information which he had subsequently included in his newspaper article, namely, that the poison was being developed in a strict secrecy, and that it couldn't readily be obtained, because I'll say it so.
Absolutely. In fact, it was quite an understatement. The only possible place it could have come from is my lab.
And furthermore, anyone afflicted by the poison would exhibit telltale signs of death. The extreme constriction of the pupils. Yes, it's quite stark when you see it. There are other poisons that show similar symptoms, but not among new substances that are undetectable. In other words, it would be clear that the victim's life had been ended by the use of this particular poison, which would reduce the number of suspects to only a handful of people.
Ah. Everyone in my laboratory is aware of the unique properties of the toxin we've been developing. None of them would be foolish enough to attempt to use it for some nefarious deed. Namami-san being no exception.
Therefore, we can we can conclude that whoever administered this unique poison to the victim was a layperson unaware of its telltale properties.
What? No.
In other words, someone like you, Wright and I can't say his last name.
Ugh.
It was you who stole the poison from the laboratory that day. And it was you who administered it to an unwitting victim. But you quickly realized that it was a terrible mistake. Because the poison caused such unusual symptoms and was so traceable. What the fuck?
Where's your breakdown?
As you listened in from the far side of the beach hut's thin walls, you learnt of these facts. But you'd already given the victim the poison at that point. It was too late. So you hatched a plan to disguise your mistake.
Balls.
A plan that involved stabbing the victim in the back through the reed screen.
Objection!
Now,
What? But what could that possibly do?
isn't it obvious, Counsel?
No.
The plan was to kill Miss Brett before the poison could take effect.
What's in the blood? The poison causes a set of pupil constriction. But he had hoped to precipitate the victim's death before that happened, hadn't he?
Exactly. Because without any revealing signs of the new secret poison's use, no one would ever have suspected.
This is extraordinary.
Yes, the effects of the poison meant it would be too easily identified, so the killer had to mask its use. Which he attempted to do by plunging a knife in the middle of the victim's back. Nar.
What's wrong, clown?
I'll feel it brewing.
Order, order! The argument presented is sound. The court is satisfied that it warrants consideration. Does the prosecution have a counter-argument that it wishes to put forward?
No.
Well, there are a number of, yes, I counter completely. You look beautiful tonight, Your Honor.
Objection!
The prosecution's evasive response clearly shows that in much the same way he nurtures the remnants of his top knot, he is clinging to lost hope.
To lost hope.
To lost hope.
Lost hope?
That was a roast. Your hairline's stupid.
No way, you still have another argument. I don't know how to quit.
Whoa.
I'm mad. The way Sosuke backed away.
I know, that was so funny. He's like, oh.
Pathetic, useless, fallen samurai. Fallen? Who are you calling fallen, you fuckhead? My burgeoning growth is on the rise. I don't need a counter-argument.
Oh no, he's going insane. He's a psychopath. He's gonna have his light arc. Anyways. L.
L.
What are you talking about?
What's the matter, Al?
What's the matter, Al?
It should be blatantly obvious.
No, he literally is like, he's got the
I
bangs
stole,
over
you
one
say.
eye.
Gave it to the victim, you say. Stabbed her, you say. Lots of fine theories. But I don't need a counter-argument because you don't have an argument yourself. Where's your evidence? What are you talking about? Yes, you make it all sound so plausible, don't you? But without evidence, it means nothing. Whereas I base my news on facts and things I made up.
And stabbing.
Facts? What do you mean? Explain yourself. I mean, what the professor said earlier in this trial. It's all here, in my many memos, every word, every slip of the tongue, all noted. That's what the Show You News is famous for, is the power of the printed word. But surely it would be no easy task to steal a highly secret toxin being developed for the government. Indeed, all visitors to the laboratory are thoroughly searched when they leave. Even if a thief managed to avoid being seen by myself or a colleague, getting the poison out would be very difficult. How's that then? Blown the story wide open? See? I, writing many memo. I'm your reporter from the Show You News. Couldn't possibly have stolen that poison. From the professor's laboratory. I win.
That was loud as hell.
There can't be any question of it. He must have stolen the poison that day. He stole it and used it to kill. And if that's the case,
As you've identified, the poison itself is on the definitive... Is the definitive evidence we need.
Well, you messed up, so you lose.
Oh, fuck me. Because whoever stole it from the laboratory that day is the true culprit here.
What's your point, you annoyingly handsome country bumpkin?
What?
Annoyingly handsome.
You annoyingly handsome fuck. My point is, there was no way. There was one way that you and
No
Many
way.
Memos could have stolen the poison that day.
If you just asked nicely. Ugh. I have heard enough verbal conjecture now, thank you. What the court must be showed is evidence. What proof do you have that this witness stole the poison on the day in question? I would assume that? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I would say the article. I think that's the most... Oh. Well, I think we are
Okay,
lost.
well, that's wrong.
Well, I think you'll agree that this is clearly demonstrated by this piece of evidence here.
By that you intend to prove that the witness stole the poison. How exactly, counsel?
That you couldn't know that until you attempted yourself, Your Excellency.
That being the case, you will attempt it yourself next time before posing any fucking words ever in my court, ever.
Oh dear, that didn't go as well as I hoped.
The file in which the poison is kept is still in the laboratory, which means that the thief must have transferred a quantity of it to
Oh, to the
another
pen.
container. Oh, that makes sense.
Don't give it away, Father! So what you're saying is I should be looking for a piece of evidence that could be used as some kind of vessel.
I was just gonna give you the answer because it was fucking painful watching the news. Well, yes, that is more or less what I said, indeed.
I must have another good look through the court evidence, Rez's record.
Before Father solves this whole thing for me.
Alright.
The pen.
I think, because when we were examining this earlier, there should have been a vial, or like, you know, not here, but like, I think it's in here. Yeah, there's like nothing in here.
Yeah, but that's probably because it's in her.
Okay, that makes sense.
Take that!
That's clever.
It is. The proof, Your Excellency, is this fountain pen.
Ugh. A fountain pen. How could that possibly be relevant?
These magical pens somehow seem to have enough ink to write many thousands of kanji characters. I believe that they arrived in our country for the first time some 15 years ago now.
Huh, I swear by a weasel hair calligraphy brush and nothing else. These newfangled pens are merely a fad. Well, dumbass, as a forward-thinking man of words, obviously I left my fountain pen. Suck up a soup? What? Of sumptuous ink, and one's work is awash with words in the blink of an eye.
That's right. Fountain pens have a small reservoir
What's a more?
reservoir in the barrel, into which ink is sucked up through the nib of the pen in order to write with it later.
What does all this talking of sucking up ink have?
I keep smacking my mic by accident. And just as it's possible to suck up ink into the reservoir, it's also
Yeah.
possible to eject it through the nib again, of course.
My word. Can this really be?
Well, Many Memo-san? What the freak? When you saw the deadly poison before your eyes in the laboratory that day, you used your fountain pen, your very lifeblood, to steal some of it, didn't you? By siphoning the poison up through the nib and into the pen's reservoir.
Ugh.
Objection!
More absurdity. That never happened. Because I said so.
True, we've heard this, that there were prosecutors, there are procedures in place to prevent thefts like this from the laboratory. But would anyone have thought to look inside a fountain pen of all places? Probably not.
No, I'm a little ashamed to say that for fear of offending our guests, such a detailed search would not have been conducted. Well, this is quite startling, I must say.
I remind the court that this pen was found in the clutches of the victim when she died. In other words, it was dropped at the scene by Many Memo-san.
Oh, bugging.
So the crucial question is, when exactly was the pen dropped?
Are you suggesting?
The natural conclusion is that your haste to act whilst the victim was distracted in the moment. You dropped the pen after you emptied the poison from her into the glass.
From her?
It into her.
There could be any number of alternative explanations. For example, the witness could have been using his pen to write down details of his conversation with the victim. And when shocked by one of her outrageous answers, the pen fell from his quivering hand.
Objection!
No.
No, that can't be. If it was, how do you explain why the pen was devoid of ink?
What?
As you can see for yourself, if you examine the evidence, there would appear to be no ink present in the reservoir. What newspaper reporter goes to interview someone with nothing in his pen? No, the pen was dropped after the poison that filled its reservoir had been emptied into the victim's glass.
Witness, what do you have to say in your defense?
Oh shit. No music.
So this is how our modern justice system works, is it? So what if the ink in my pen runs dry? So what if my pencil snaps? I'm Wolverine. I can always claw my way back into the game. I have plenty in reserve. I've been assaulted.
Insane.
You claim I sucked the poison up into my pen. That's wild speculation and nothing more. If you thought you could bring down a fine, upstanding citizen with a trick like that, think again. Oh my god, you're annoying. It looks as though it's going to take one final decisive blow to finish this matter. As I see it, the situation is now very simple. It rests upon whether or not this witness did indeed steal the poison on the day in question. And therefore, it all depends upon whether or not the defense can prove that he did it with evidence. No such evidence could possibly exist.
Objection!
Okay, I guess it fucking does.
Many Memo-san, this is how our modern justice system works.
What?
In the courtroom,
What?
evidence is everything.
What?
Something you would do well to remember. Because we are all past the point of speculation at this stage, I assure you.
Well, you missed a word, so you're wrong.
My bad.
Very well, then. I call upon the defense to present the aforementioned evidence.
This is it then. This will be the final piece in the puzzle.
Final piece in the puzzle.
The defense can prove by means of this item that it was the witness's pen that was used to steal the poison.
Take that!
Counsel, what is that bottle?
This bottle contains the unique chemical reagent that can identify the poison in question.
Yes, that poison is an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids developed by my colleagues and I. It would be impossible to detect traces of it by any other method.
Or from another perspective. Simply with this chemical reagent, anybody at all could check their traces, check for traces of the poison.
A reagent? What?
I'll carry a sentence fine and then I'll hit the end of it and I just die. One drop of the contents of this bottle on the tip of your fountain pen, Mini Memo-san, is all it will take to solve this case beyond all reasonable doubts.
No, you can't. I won't. I'll kill you.
And then her. Your crimes are bad enough, but at least now know when to admit to defeat.
Well, at least know when to shut the fuck up.
At least learn when to read. Your Excellency. The defense requests permission to carry out a test on the fountain pen at once. Don't touch my pen. Dude, if this is not blatantly obvious right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
This isn't my fault. The Empire drove me to this. Try holding its head on high as if civilized nation bows its head to every foreign power. I took a bars at the board of my pen. 5 targets on the battlefield. Naval justice for minimum as a paragon adjustment.
Oh shit!
Oh, there.
Susato, with me!
Yo, y'all are about to beat his ass?
Up there! Whoa! What the? Yo!
Damn, they just threw him up.
That was funny as fuck.
That was
assault. I'm
amazing.
pretty sure you can't assault people in the courtroom though. Did I do it right? That was the Susato takedown, wasn't it? Not quite.
It was close, though.
That
Oh,
was a
yeah.
Ryutaro takedown.
I don't know who Sato is. Okay, that's actually funny. That one cutscene had more animation than all of the first 6 games combined.
Literally. The instant the first drop of the reagent touched the nib the nib of the fountain pen, it was clear to everyone the present. Oh wow, he looks so emo.
When I saw it there in the lab, the poison, I
I just
just...
cried, bro.
The devil got a hold of me and I decided to do it on a whim. I excused myself, pissed everywhere, and emptied all the ink down the sink of the bathroom, washing the reservoir out carefully.
And you waited for an opportunity to suck up some of the poison, didn't you? Into your fountain pen.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's right. Answer me one thing, Manimemo-san. Why did you steal it? For what purpose?
For fun.
Isn't it obvious? To find out what it was made of and expose it in an article. I mean, it was a secret project after all. Too juicy for a journal like me to pass up.
Then why did the Englishwoman end up dead?
I don't know.
I went into that hut intending to quiz her on her situation, that's all, as a reporter. A known killer, enjoying full freedom. Evading justice by leaving the country, I told her what I thought about it.
I told her, I don't think you deserve to live. And then I stabbed her.
She just laughed in my face, so I fucking killed her.
No one will ever laugh at me.
Oh, hey, she actually gets to speak again.
Oh, what's this? A Far Eastern caveman purporting to practice journalism? Really, you must learn the difference between reporting and listening at doorways, you ignorant plebeian.
What
What'd
the
you fucking
fuck?
call me?
What did you call me? I'm gonna kill you now.
This country with its pretensions to a justice system, to a free press, it's really very depressing. You see our superior ways in the West, yet you lack the mental capacity to emulate them. Are you calling me dumb? Get out of here, you oaf. Get out and crawl back into the cave from which you came. I edited the line.
That's when I remembered.
I hated
could just-
women.
About the deadly poison I happened to have in my pen at the time. Wow, what a
That's
terrible
crazy.
tale.
That's when I remembered. I have poison.
In my head, I knew I should just get out of there as quickly as possible, but I couldn't.
I had the need to kill. The transition between that sprite and that sprite is wild.
Yeah, I couldn't let her get away with what she'd done, when she clearly had no remorse at all. I'm more depressed. I suppose it was my journo spirit, getting all fired up.
I'm in L now.
Wow.
Do you want me to feel bad for you?
What the fuck? Again?
The witnesses are gone.
I'd like to ask you something. Why?
Yes, I don't take questions at this time.
Oh. You often talk about justice. Have you met Apollo? But surely as a journalist, you could have used other means to deliver the justice you sought. Yeah, I'm not the brightest.
There's no justice in the press.
Sorry?
After that trial 9 months ago, I kept digging and digging to find out what had happened in that courtroom. And finally, I discovered the truth. It was a cover-up, and that's what it was.
A cover-up? What do you mean?
I would remind you of your position, witness. Be careful of what you say.
He's going to prison anyway.
I know, he can say whatever he wants.
Oh, come on. Doesn't it strike you as strange? We're suddenly not allowed to convict a foreign national, costing their jurisdiction when it should never have come into it. And yet that puffed-up Englishwoman was going to sail away into the sunset, a free woman. The only possible explanation is that behind the scenes, some deal had gone down between Britain and Japan.
What sort of deal?
I'd done my research, dug up all the dirt. It was ready to be published. But you all know what happened. The editor just tore the article up. He came under pressure from the government. I mean, if our government is going to let criminals walk free, if they're going to just crush the free press, then what choice do I have but to see that justice is done myself?
Let's not forget, Manimemo-san, that you committed murder yourself and you tried to lay the blame on the defendant's door. I'm sorry, but you're no better than Giselle Brent.
What?
The truth is, you have no right to talk about justice at all. Shit.
I suppose.
Damn.
Fuck. It would appear that we have reached a conclusion in this trial at last. Counsel for the defense. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Oh! Yes. Sorry, Your Excellency. Just musing in a manly way here.
Whatever you say, woman. It's almost unbelievable that this is your first experience at the Supreme Court. It was an excellent performance. In truth, it very much reminded me of your cousin's exploits.
Oh, Naruhodo-san. Ryunosuke, you mean?
The way he handled the trial 9 months ago, and the way you handled this one, gives me hope that we are genuinely entering a new era of justice in this land.
That's very flattering, Your Excellency.
Hearing the defense you put forward today made me feel it most keenly, that the future of our justice system will be forged by you and your contemporaries.
Thank you.
So, Prosecutor Ouchi, do you have any final thoughts, you fucking disappointment? Is he gonna cut off like a...
Prosecutor Hachi?
Is he gonna cut off a pinky or something? Or is he gonna cut off his hair? I, Takatsuchi of the Ouchi clan, have been bested by a Kello youth not once now, but twice. If there was any shred of my former self left, it has withered and died here today.
Gosh, your journey to cultural enlightenment sure took a while, didn't it?
Silence! Rather than living on in shame,
I'm going to stop. Whoa.
I will end it all now with this blade. I wanna fucking die. For that is the true path to Ouchiism.
What the hell? Ouchies?
One hopes that's the only way in which he'll be modeling himself after the witness.
That is a pretty big ouchie. Stabbing yourself.
Suddenly, the Great Ace Attorney Resolve was rated M. Spring of my top knot. The time is right for farewell. Hope is lost forever. Takatsuchi.
Oh my god. That was clean. That was incredible.
If the mainline games aren't anything like this, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Literally.
Like with how the cutscenes work. Because these are really smooth. I pray for thee.
Hairs.
I'm
I forgot
here.
you were here.
Hello.
I saw that.
Wow. What a case that was. Hi.
Hi.
Now, with regard to the defendant, read my mummy, son.
Yes, Your Excellency.
I have reached my final verdict. I hereby find you guilty. Just kidding. Yay. The cherry blossoms.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get these cherry blossoms out, pal.
Damn, where the fuck did I get these?
No, why am I in Japan? What year is it? What decade is it?
Court is adjourned. Honestly, I think this case might have been about as long as the previous first case, but this one was a lot better paced.
Yeah, because it's just better.
It is.
13th.
I'm back.
Hello.
13th August, 2:38 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber 3.
Wow, finally. Fucking
I
Christ.
did it. It's over.
It's over, isn't it?
Oh, my heart is still pounding in my chest, though. It's all I can do to stay standing. It's all I can just do to...
Hi.
Naruhodo! Lawyers have such great responsibility. Such a great burden to bear.
Burning to bear.
Burden to bear. Don't they, Naruhodo-san?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I hate it here. Susato, it's me, Ray. Oh,
Ha ha ha.
and father.
Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there. Ray and Father. Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've... Oh, no, I think I'm going to cry. It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end, too. The only reason I'm still here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage for you to tell the truth in there. To tell the truth. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the crabs belong to you. That the congratulations belongs to you. Wow, really? I love crab. Susato, don't be so standoffish. Sorry?
Sorry?
We're friends.
seagulls and trials. So no more of this formal super humility nonsense. It's time to celebrate with swagger, to throw caution to the wind.
I'm waiting for Sosuke to just pop up.
I know. Caution to the what? I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryutaro Naruhodo, and I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something.
Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray.
No, do it now. At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man, and it felt so good.
Yes, it was satisfying.
It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together?
I hope you're not looking at me, Ray.
Oh my goodness! No, of course not. Of course not!
Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile.
Anyway, you fought for your friend to the very last.
Anyway.
As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense attorney, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Man, I wish I had a son.
I don't know why that joke's so funny. Man, I wish I had a son.
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help.
I know.
I know you couldn't have.
Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryutaro, I think.
No, greet Ryunosuke with that.
I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Susato Mikotoba now.
And you will now be put on the back burner for the rest of the game.
Real.
So I'll never see him again then. What a terrible shame.
What? Sosuke? Yep.
Yep. The gang.
What is happening?
Is that a woman?
Ah, Satsuki-san and Inspector Hosonaga. I do hope you've been keeping well.
Is that
A woman?
really you? Oh my god.
Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope. But it's me,
Place your hands behind your back.
You're going to jail.
Susato Mikotoba.
The verdict
Why
must
would
be
you give your
overturned.
full name to them right now?
The verdict must be overturned.
A woman? Don't. So dashing, so divine. No. Doubly dashing, yes, and devilishly divine. Just look at you. I had no idea, Mr. Sato-san Esquires, that you were the local student Naruhodo-san Esquire's cousin.
Why does he look like he's with a crack in his neck?
Astonishingly astounding Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney! Ace Attorney!
He said the thing all the credits.
Poor Satsuki-san, so confused.
Prison!
I still remember the first time I met him. He was in a prison cell in Yanlun. What an extraordinary conundrum this was. It was what the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiling in. But after
Fucking jurors.
Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Sasuke-san was free to return to Japan.
Why are we getting a recap right now? Oh, okay. Thought I was gonna keep going.
And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author. And committed a second crime.
I'm stunned. That's truly an impressive disguise. You and I had no idea, and I'm Chief Inspector at the Police Bureau. Came up with Mr. Turtle, no less. I'm not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing. You're a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you, though, Inspector.
Well, I'm a professional, of course. Why'd the lights turn out?
I do worry about Inspector Hosonaga sometimes, I really do. He's probably gonna die next year. 9 months ago when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover, disguised as a head waiter of the restaurant. And then on the steam ship to Great...
The steamed shit. The steamed shit.
The steamed shit to Great Fuck.
Of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey.
No!
No, not the steamed shit, Dad.
Damn.
But that didn't help you, did it? Kazuma-sama?
When I find Nikomino Pavlova, whatever the fuck her name was,
Oh, yeah, Nikomina.
from my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now that the truth has been lost forever.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the murder that the English woman committed at the end of last year.
Boy doy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we still don't fucking know why she did that.
Yeah.
It was an English doctor. She killed us. I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? And now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer.
Oh, wait, my bad. I didn't say oh. On the voyage to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter with Mr. Herlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean.
Ew. Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course. Oh, I
Does
fucking
he even
hate that
show
guy.
up in this game?
I would assume he does.
My arch nemesis, how lightly you uttered his name.
Well, according to the stories published about him in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes, a best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine by the name of John H. Wilson. What? Dr. Wilson? I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true,
Hi.
then the poor girl won't ever see her beloved father again.
I'm depressed.
I'm sad.
As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born.
Yes, grandmother told me about it.
On returning to Japan, I took on my professorship at the Imperial Yume University. I also serve another role as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I was aware of that as well.
Oh, well, you're just aware of everything, aren't you? In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you.
Could you just tell me one thing?
No.
Oh. Why did you summon me back to Japan?
No.
The truth come out. It's been 2 months since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you'd collapsed with a high fever, and you were growing weaker by the day. What? Where did that news come from? That's what I'd like to know, because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, Father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceived might be an inconvenience to me in some way, or harm me? That's really the only other explanation I could think of. Yeah, they just didn't want you over there.
Dear me, do you reserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato? I'm sorry, my dear. I simply can't. Fucking...
Oh, shit. He broke out.
I'm out of prison.
He didn't even make it in.
Minimomo-san!
You're a woman?
So one throw wasn't enough for you.
I don't think this has ever happened either. We've never seen the friggin'...
I know,
almost
he's like-
never seen the person arrested.
Where are your
after.
handlers, bro?
I've got one last thing to say before they take me away. Professor.
Where are the guards?
Me.
Mark your words.
I
Or
know
mark
the truth.
mark your days.
I know you had a hand in what went on.
What?
In that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? Giselle Brett, you mean? No, not her. The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean
Asugi.
Kazuma-sama. What are you talking about? What does this have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on the
Oh,
steamship,
shit.
and that he'll never.
Oh.
Who
Whoa,
are you?
what the
Oh, what the
fuck?
frickin' judge.
I know.
All right, that's also rare that we've never seen.
I know, he's fully out.
Yeah, we've never seen
What
the
the
frickin' judge.
fuck?
This game is just breaking norms. Well, I didn't expect to find him in there. You can see his body on the floor.
He's
over
like,
there.
oh god, you're a woman?
What were you officers playing
I'm
at?
waiting for them to, like, be like, what the hell?
I'm terribly sorry, actually. I
Do
didn't know
your
you had-
job!
I didn't know you had legs.
I gotta do everything around here.
That is so weird seeing the
It's
judge out of
super
his
weird.
seat. I was telling you that the rickshaw has arrived, Yuji, and it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with them. We have similar voices. I'll be there shortly.
Oh, Your Excellency.
Who the fuck are you? Ha 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 ha. The trial's over. I'm not your excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend. He actually has a
What
name?
the fuck?
Seishiro Jigoku. And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance.
Oh.
Susato
Oh.
knew? Oh, he knew?
Did you know all along? From the start of the trial?
What is happening?
I don't know.
A judge sees everything, Susato. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seishiro here hadn't known, then he'd recognized you. So I had a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend.
So you
so-
bribed the court?
Yeah, shall we? Yes, having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
Before you go, Father,
Sorry, but we have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. Well done again, both of you. You did admirably.
Oh. Thank you very much.
What did you think of my Seishiro sling, eh? It's been a while since I sent a man flying like that. Ha ha ha.
I love him. My Seishiro sling. Real. I love you.
This case is doing so many things differently.
I know, it's awesome.
Whatever could father be hiding from me? About Giselle Brett? About Dr. Wilson? About the Seishiro sling? And now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with father sometime. When nobody else is around.
Hi.
What the hell?
Judicial Assistant Mikotoba-san Esquires. Could I have a word?
Oh, yes, of course, Sasuke-san. What is it?
I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you.
Oh?
I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England.
Oh.
This I have to hear. Please, Sasuke-san, tell me at once.
I will. I forgot. As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. Such awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness local student Naruhodo-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on his ship back here to my homeland. Having arrived in Japan, I submitted a report about my experiences to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report.
My father?
He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you asking you to return to Japan.
What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in.
I don't know. I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in.
Of course, I could never forget.
What other case am I missing here?
I don't know.
Your father seemed to concern himself mainly with the second case.
The second one? You mean the one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public?
What?
What is happening? Is the next case gonna be like a
Oh, like a recap or like a flashback?
prequel? I don't know.
Which is why the only case involving you that the member of the public is aware of is the first.
Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, hideous, heinous case. The case of the haunted lodgings.
What?
Interesting. What the hell is going on?
That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan. I thought that the whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told.
What on earth is going on?
What do you mean?
What is happening?
What do you mean?
That was wiggity whack.
A thing.
We're back.
So,
Oh,
the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness.
Still don't know why she did
And
what she
having
did.
stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
Ahoo.
And then Susato died in the next case.
Susato is dead forever. end of her life. Susata success.
Wow. What a banger of a
That was
first case
crazy.
that was. That was so much better than the previous first
I
case.
can't believe we saw the whole judge.
Yeah, that was whack. Oh, man. Well, that wraps up the adventure of the Blossoming Attorney. Which means next time we're going to be delving into episode 2, the memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Oh yeah, this you can also even see this one. Oh wait, never mind. I thought this said episode 11, but it's episode 2 on that image. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, if you want to show your support and love for the series, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you all in the next episode.
Episode.